Yeah, so I'm just going to walk you through this because it is a very comprehensive platform and it works super. BrandWell is unlike anything you'll find out there because the goal of the entire platform is to basically automate content down to a few clicks. So typically within any AI platform, LLMs, especially LLM being a large language model like Claude, ChatGPT, Gemini, you have to prompt it a bunch of times. But with this platform, what you're doing is you're automating the workload of like an entire team of people down to just clicks. But it's complicated to understand. But once I show you like how things work, it should start to make sense. So first of all, I'll just walk you through it as if you're new to it, and that way we can cover any questions or anything that's also would come up that maybe you've tried that hasn't worked. But I think we'll start here, and then that will give you a really good feel of how the platform is, like what it was built for. So we've got several technology suites. The main one is RankWell. This is where, like Nick, all the clients you would have would literally live here. And so
Okay.
the way this works is and this is where cost comes into play. So one website is $100. So that would kind of be the cost basis of adding clients, AKA websites. And we do have a whole new design coming here soon where it's going to be a lot easier to click through and get to stuff. Because right now, like you've got the start writing button and you don't know that you got to click within it to then get to our AI agents, which I'll show you those in a minute. And then you don't know that your content lives in here and your content intelligence tool suite. So there's been, we know that's a problem and we're fixing that. The UX will guide you on the left-hand panel in a much better way. So that's coming, but let me show you how this works. So whenever you add a website, very simple, just like you were saying, Alyssa, you might already be familiar with this. Down here, this is new as of the end of August. So this is a little over a month old, the Brand Publisher Network. And what that is, that's a natural link co-op. So whenever you add a website to this and you you leave this on, and that's why it's $100 cost. We have this technology we've built called knowledge graphing, and it puts together an entire knowledge graph of that website, and it understands it at a contextual level. And then it takes all of that knowledge and it starts to build links, interlinking, and then external linking. So it will find high quality external links in the new content you generate, and then it will do some interlinking. And the network itself is only high quality sites that have opted in through our platform. So it's never like you're never in any other spammy kind of network. And that's the goal, is like everything here is super high quality, really good in terms of like EAT and everything Google wants to see whenever they rank content. So whenever you add a project, that's when like the magic begins and we can do a lot more. So in the settings up here on the right, we can set automations. These are all kinds of things. The main reason I use this tab is for the exclusions. So if you have clients that don't want you to say certain things or link to certain domains, if there's competitors, you can put that here and it saves it at that project level. We can also train it on a custom tone of voice for that client. So we just load it with example content, that client's favorite content, or whatever writing style that they have. You just load that here, save it, and you can
by default. Sorry for interrupting you. By default, it's written with your expertise, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know you've written like thousands of pieces of content. You know what the crap you're doing. So
exactly. Yeah.
If our brands don't have a voice because they're mostly medical and they talk your jargon, then we can lean on you and your default.
100%.
Yeah. I just wanted to clarify that.
And let me show you how to get to that, because that's a different tab. Yeah. Okay. So AI training is that custom tone of voice. But if you wanted to do what Nick just said, like set it to an expert tone of voice that already exists, you just go to general, scroll down, you'll find all the details here for the actual client. So this is where you see a tone of voice. So instead of custom, which we've got that choice again here, but we can actually select something we've either built, or we can select something that's preset. If we scroll down, we can even select influencers. And that's where my voice is. You can grab that. And that's where it's using that super Like my style is,
You got Dennis Yu in there.
yeah, exactly.
Maybe he'll melt down one of our brands. Yeah, that guy's both awesome and scary at the same time. Yeah, I will always be his friend.
That's funny.
I'm sure I'm right too.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, if you apply these styles, like we've even got, Stefan Georgi, he's a top copywriter. Dennis Yu, he's in the SEO space. Those are top authors. So the goal is like, again, you don't have to prompt. You don't have to tell the AI at all the style to write in. Yeah. So it just takes that work out.
You got some Hermosi in there yet?
No, we could add that.
There'll be a lot of F-bombs in there, but it'd be fun to watch.
Oh my gosh, that'd be hilarious. Because he is so controversial, I feel like these days, where it's like, ooh, that could go well.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's a place to write from. All right, I'm gonna shut up. Keep going. You're doing good.
So let's see. I'm thinking what else to show Alyssa and Nick here. So I think, the tone of voice. In the project settings, we can get a little deeper once we add the project. We can set it according to a specific region. So this might be really helpful if you have clients that are specific to like cities, states, countries even. And what that does is it sets the SERP analyzer. So whenever it writes content, and I'll show you like the process there in a minute, it's one of the first steps that BrandWell does is it goes and looks at what's in Google for that keyword, breaks all that down. And this is where I think, Alyssa, you were asking about word count. It actually, based on the top results in Google, it'll come up with its own insights on what the word count should be. So that's why we don't typically allow anyone to set the word count, because the AI built in here knows better. It'll do it based on real-time research of what's at the top of Google. Because typically how you want to find that word count is not, a client could be like, oh, I need 500 words, but what they really need for that keyword is like 3,000 words to rank at the top of Google. And you're not going to know that till you research. So that's where this can be a tool you can rely on for that kind of insight, which is a different way to do it. It's like, well, if a client wants this many words, that's sometimes going to be a battle. And then we've got integration. So this connects to statuses of the post, which means that right now we've got WordPress, Google Search Console coming soon, Go High Level. But the WordPress plugin is definitely the most popular. You just download that, upload it to a client site, and then all the content generated here starts to talk to that live site. So if we go inside a post generated, I can go up here top right, and I can change the status to completed, published, and it'll immediately reflect on the site. And if I've got the WordPress plugin going, I can also make all the changes I need straight from here to that content. Like if the client's like, oh, we missed putting this in, or they read it, found something to change, you would just log in here. You would never have to actually go in the site. So that's a big time saver too, because what it also does is it takes all the SEO from here. So it's writing a unique meta description. Over here in the sidebar, we can see that under SEO, and it'll drop that right into whether it's Yoast, Rank Math, all-in-one SEO plugins, whatever SEO plugin is on that client site, it'll drop that meta right in. So you don't have to do that either. And then it's giving you all the keywords. It does the real-time research to go and find the keywords. So let me back up a little bit. So to generate a post, before we get to the output, there's only one thing you need to do. You need to give it either a keyword, an existing article, like let's say you want to rewrite a competitor post, something that's already ranking at the top of Google, or a YouTube video, a podcast, audio file, or doc. So the goal is like you do not have to do anything other than just drop in a keyword. Like if I wanted to do, let's say I want to do a blog on AI-driven content marketing for the BrandWell site. Oh, and it's stopping me from cannibalizing that because it said that keyword already exists, which is really cool. Now, if I don't know my keywords, we can click research, and then we've got a fully functional keyword research tool in here too. So I can go, okay, I think this client wants to rank for this term. Let me research those keywords. And then we don't have to leave this dashboard. And what's cool about the connection of all of this is, I can go straight from my keyword research to clicking create content, or I can even cluster my topics. And are you familiar with topic clusters, Alyssa?
No.
Nick, do you?
I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll just run through that real quick so Alyssa's familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, of course. So whenever you are looking through a list of keywords, like for a client site, the clusters are the high authority terms. And then the keywords are the individual article terms. So for example, let's say we've put in the seed keyword AI content marketing. This one right here, AI tools for content marketing, that would be an article term. So I would click create content, throw that in the queue. That's going to write a full article. But if I go up here and I see AI content marketing, well, that's like an umbrella term that I want to be known for. So then that is a topic cluster. And if I create the topic cluster, it's going to give me like 3 to 5 articles related to that term to write. And that's the reason you do that is because that builds topical authority for those keywords for that client, which is super important to getting them found in the top of Google for their ideal keywords. So you can see it's giving us two different articles to create. So straight from here, I can click create content on these, and then it's going to take that whole cluster. It's going to fill it out. If I click on more options, I can see it's pulling in all the keywords, and it's actually putting together a cluster, which is going to give me a super long form in-depth article. And again, I just click write article now. I don't have to do anything. It's going to throw that in the queue. And then once an article comes out, what you want to do, we kind of have a acronym to help remember like the process here. And it's interesting because when I started here in January of 2023, the acronym was longer. And I would recommend like 45 minutes usually of editing. But now, because the output has gotten so much better, the process is so much more in depth. You can really rely on this to be good out of the box, which is like where the whole straight out of AI term we have came from. It's like straight out of AI. It's really, really good. So what you want to do, we call it tap. So take a look at the content, add anything that's missing. For us, like that looks like screenshots, images. Like here, we're going to talk about our tool, which is a nice little plug. So we're going to drop in a screenshot. And then the P in tap is publish. So it really is that simple. And that's the goal. Is like you don't.
So you can add screenshots and everything right in here.
Yes, absolutely. And this syncs directly to the end website. So this will show up beautifully on the blog post, and we don't have to do anything.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Man, that's good. Okay.
Yeah, it saves so much time. Yeah. So the process of going from, let's say like we're adding a client site, we can do all of the goal is like to do all the actions here. So we're able to do keyword research. We can even do topic reports. This puts together, let's say we want to look up a hot topic for that client. We can set it to a specific region, or we can leave it pretty broad. And the report here gives us all kinds of in-depth details on the trend of that keyword, the average word count. And this is a nice little client tool. If they're like, well, what's the popularity of that keyword? We can download this report and share it. So all the tools here, we've got content briefs as well, which generates real time. If we run a brief, it'll put together a whole outline for a piece of content and give you the H2s, the H3s, and the whole structure for a entire article. And then we can also, I love these, I use this all the time, the optimization audit. So that is any piece of content that's not ranking well and you want to rewrite it, see what's going on. You just drop the URL here, the keyword you want to rank in the top of Google, click analyze, and then it gives you this in-depth report. If we click over here, optimization audit, it's going to tell us exactly what to do to get that piece of content to rank at the top of Google. And if we just follow that checklist, like we've got to add a few visuals, we got to include a summary section talking a little bit deeper about affordable SEO takeaways. So if we follow this, then this piece of content will rank in the top of Google. And this is all, the tech stack behind what you're seeing here is something that's very advanced, which is why this is something you can count on versus just, I'm trying to get output from ChatGPT or like you name the tool, for example, just these 4 paragraphs, and this is the hook of a blog. This is structured with a copywriting formula called PASS, which is you state the problem, you agitate that problem, you present a solution. And that removes a high bounce. So that's like mathematically proven to get people to scroll. And then the rest of the content is fully original. We've got checks in here. You can do a plagiarism check. You can do an AI detection scan. These are things that you just one click and then it'll highlight, it'll tell you, oh, this kind of sounds like a robot wrote it. And it's telling you the robot's telling you that, which I think is funny. And then you're just rewriting it. Like, for example, if this was highlighted, like let's go ahead and run that scan. If it comes back like, oh, here's a sentence that's not, yeah, here we go. So this passed, which is good, but then we've got this one sentence. So I can just click the in-app editor here and I can click undetectable rewrite, and then it will rewrite that for me. So you can even rely on this pop-up and our writing tools that are built right here to do the writing. You don't really have to, like, the goal is your work's very, very simple. That's the goal.
This is so convenient having it all in one place.
Right?
That's what I was like, Alyssa, I think there's a way for us to make this work if we can.
Yeah, I wasn't utilizing it to its potential.
Well, in all fairness, Julia, I know that you guys have done a good job on the tutorials and everything. But sometimes it's just like you really need somebody to click,
yes.
ask questions and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
so I can't tell you how much I appreciate you hopping on with us.
Oh, of course, 100%. Well, I mean, you're the perfect person, I think, for this platform. You're not just some person trying to start an agency, or you don't really know what you're doing with your brand. You have a team, you're established, and you would know what to do with something this powerful. Right. So I'm always happy to hop on these types of calls, especially with, I got to meet you. I thought it was a great connection. But let me keep going because, Alyssa, there's more.
I'll shut up.
That's all right.
Let me mute myself here.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. So something that we added end of August with the rebrand, because like so much changed since I got to meet Nick in Mexico in July. Literally like 40 days later, this whole app changed. And then what's coming, I want to say it's going to be, I'll show you a little bit more about what's coming. So we won't go there yet, but there are new things coming that I think are going to be really powerful, especially for the agency and what you're going to be able to do for your clients. So I'll share that at the end. But the new thing that launched end of August, it's right here in the app right now, is whenever you add that new website. So it's structured like $100 per website. That's because we do a whole knowledge graph. And now it'll run an automatic site audit. So whenever you add a website, you come back, I want to say it's like 15 minutes, and it's going to pull in all the content for that client site. And it's going to tell you what to rewrite, like what would just completely not ever make it to the top of Google, very poor on-page SEO. It's going to group all of those articles and literally give you one button to click. And then it will go and rewrite all of those articles. And that rewrite is not just like, oh, let's change some sentences. It's going to go scan Google for that keyword, parse down the top of what's ranking, and then rewrite that content so that it actually ranks at the top of Google. And then it'll tell you what could be improved, give you a one-click refresh, and then it'll tell you what's optimized. The integration that we also launched was Google Search Console. So you can directly connect to each client site through GSC, and it's going to pull in that data right here. On the agency plan, you could actually brand this whole platform as yours. And so you could bring your client into this as a user. Alyssa would be on the other end as a team member, so she would get the full admin access. The client would just see a view only. But that is a great way to be like, hey, look, your traffic's growing. Your content is really good. The scores are awesome. This is on point SEO content. And so that white label version, which is $4.99 a month, I believe, that gets you, I would say it's 4 clients. So that's included in the $4.99, and then 25 posts. And then from there, it's just pay as you go. So it's like $6 a post to add more. And then it's unlimited audits, keyword research, topic reports, content briefs, and then the AI agents, which I'll show you those. Haven't even showed you those yet either, but let's stay here. So Google Search Console, what's coming is this is going to extend into, this is just the start of it. So this rewrite button, it's pulling in all the content that's scoring poorly, which, you know, that whole process used to be so much work. So to have just a button like that is amazing. But what's coming is you're also going to be able to see low-hanging fruit opportunities for each website. So if you have a client and you know they've got some content and they could be ranking for these other keywords, you won't even need to go find what those keywords are. Like, we're going to serve those to you in this dashboard. So that's coming soon, which will be really cool. But let me actually show you as well. This is unlimited access. So in the Start Writing tab, which is going to actually change in a couple weeks, when you log in, you're not going to see Start Writing. You'll just see a plus button and you can get started either creating content, adding a website, or it's going to give you a whole bunch of like guided actions, which I think is a much better way to experience this. But for now, if you click Start Writing, go over here to the overview, the sidebar, click AI agents. We've got over 40 different pre-trained AI agents that give you all kinds of short form content. So you get unlimited access to these as well. So let's pull up one. And I've helped build these, which is a lot of fun. So the LinkedIn story post, like if we give it, let's say we're creating, and this could be a Facebook post, like this could be all kinds of content because of how good this AI agent is. So if we say, write a post about selling a $5 million writing agency to enter the age of AI, it's going to generate this awesome story that we can then put in a bunch of places. Like I said, whether it was LinkedIn or, I mean, this could even be an email. So the way these agents work, and these are unlimited, like you could have it write a million of these if you wanted to. You can save these in docs. We've got all that natively right here. So the way this works, these agents, they're pre-trained on different copywriting formulas. So this one, we've got some edits to make, threw in some extra asterisks, but it's formatted in a really high retention, high engagement algorithm style. So we've got a hook here, which is a question. We've got supporting secondary hook. We're stating a wild thought. You know, what if selling something worth this much could lead to something even better? Everyone thought it was crazy. And it's formulating the story. It's analyzing that story. And then it's giving you data and takeaways. So it's going in deeper. And there's a lot of emotion woven in. So this is something that we've programmed in the back end to give you some really good short form content that actually works. That would, you know, like stop the scroll on LinkedIn. That's the goal. So this is something you get as well. That's included, like I said, unlimited access. We've got over 40 of those AI agents. And then the last thing I want to show you is what's coming, because this is like really, really cool, especially for pulling it up here, another tab, especially for cool agencies. Yeah, go ahead.
I said, oh no, more cool things.
Oh no. Oh no. Well, this is different. It's not content. So we covered like the content generation, because that is a lot. You know, we don't really want to add too much more there, because that's enough to like just live in.
Well,
but let me.
Julia, I don't know if you said this, or maybe this is what you're about to cover. I don't know. But when we're putting a blog together, won't it generate an image for that blog as well?
That's a good question. So we haven't really liked the blog image generators or image generators out there. And we've tried to like bring some in via API and say, okay, go create a header image, but it's never been on point enough for us to say, okay, we can deploy this.
Do you foresee any possibility of like integrating Canva? There's a lot of places that integrate Canva. That's a thing.
Yeah, that could be something. I'll check.
They're pretty generous on their API integrations, so I didn't know if that was. Anyway, I'm just thinking out loud.
Yeah, no,
I'm talking about those photos most of the time.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good piece of feedback. I know we have more agencies that use Canva too, so I'll share that with our founder. No, that's interesting. Okay, so here's what's coming. And this actually gives you a little sneak peek at the new nav as well. So you can see over here on the left-hand side, like we've got articles, keyword research, clusters, audits. So you get to everything much more quickly. But here's the new, this is like a whole new product that's coming. We're calling it Traffic ID, AKA leads. So what it is a real-time database of everyone that's on that website, and they haven't filled out forms. So these are like people that have just landed on the site. And I'm going to show you another screenshot that gets even more dialed into what this is. So most visitor ID tools out there, they just give you like very basic information. Like here's their name, here's their company, but this is what ours will be able to do. So it's going to give you like their actual email, phone number, location, the company they work at. It's going to tell you the session history of what pages they visited and when. It's going to group together people from that same company, and it's going to do that per website. So this is something you could, and again, if you have the agency version of our platform, you could bring your clients into this and actually show them like, look, here are your leads, go have fun. Or you could deploy an outreach strategy to those leads. But is that something you think would fit into what you sell, Nick?
Well, I think it would fit in for us. We have to be very careful about HIPAA compliance. So actually, I might need that to be able to be disabled.
Oh, that's true. Okay. HIPAA.
Do what? That could be. I was gonna say that could get me in all kinds of trouble. Actually.
Yeah.
Can we get a HIPAA button that just squelches that for certain sites? Because I don't need that.
Yeah, no, I was just talking with the founder about this. He's like, yeah, for HIPAA compliant sites, you don't want to sell this, Julia.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I just need a squelch button, like AI and just like disable this function on this website. It's fine.
Oh yeah.
But I want it for like Patient Care Marketing Pros and Nick the Marketer and any roofing company that we deal with, or like all of that's great. But for all the medical, I would have to shut it off. Yeah,
for sure. Well, that's and that would be a pixel you install, and then an additional product with like I think it starts at $79 a month.
Oh, perfect.
And then you get like 200 leads. So yeah, you would turn it on. It would be automatic.
Yeah, I was gonna say in that case, I don't need a squelch. I can
yeah. You need an on button.
Love that for my website for sure. So
yeah. Right. Yeah.
Now this is fantastic. I love the way.
Good. So glad.
Oasis. SIP Oasis would be good for that. Any B2B company, it would be fantastic.
Yes. You're talking about the traffic piece in particular.
Well, the traffic or this right here, just
and the content.
Website, they sell this piece of content.
Yes.
And it'd be really interesting. We have content like how much should you pay a marketing agency, and if they're on that piece of content, then I could. Hey, this is their number one issue is price. So anything that I know about, right? Anyway.
Yeah, that's interesting. Because you could also, you could be an affiliate of BrandWell, and that's a $200 payout per sign up. So that could be something you have affiliate links in the blogs, unless you just want to do it for clients. And then it's like, you might be better off just pointing them to your marketing agency. Because some, end consumers, like they don't really know what to do with content like this, which is why we love serving the agency.
Right.
Because you guys actually know what to do with it. And you can help that end consumer so much more. Yeah. But Alyssa, would you have any other questions on like what you're looking at here, like how to use it? Like there's more buttons I haven't even covered, but this does give you a good sense of like what it's built for.
I feel a lot more like I understand it more. I'm excited to go play in it now that I get it.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Also the new dashboard, like side panel thing, that it'll look so good. I don't know when you said that's coming out, but it'll look really good.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's the goal. It's like, Nick, you said something at the beginning. How do we make Alyssa's life easier? And sometimes just giving her the right buttons.
Like the whole goal is just like, what can I do to get my team?
I love that.
Busted every day. How can I get them operating, take the stress off of them, because I know Alyssa's
Yeah.
already having to go in and do 30 prompts for Claude or ChatGPT, or spinning up a server for ZimWriter and all the things that we do with AI. I'm like, this does everything I think we want it to do. How can we make this work? Let's eliminate 3 of those 4 softwares, and now she doesn't have to go and log into WordPress for the blog that she just spent 45 minutes writing.
Yeah, this will streamline the process a lot.
Yeah, exactly. So that's, for me, what I was looking for.
Oh, that's the goal, 100%.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
When I saw your comment, I think it was in Jonathan's group, was it?
Yeah, it was the AI.
Okay. Yeah.
I tagged you in it because
I appreciate that so much. I was like, you could watch Jonathan's tutorial, and I have. Yeah. It's really good, but you're still spending like an hour and a half versus 5 minutes.
Well, and that's exactly what I did, by the way. When he posted that video, or you tagged his video or something like that, I got about 30 minutes into it, and I was like, I don't want to do this. My team will just quit.
Oh no. Don't quit, Alyssa.
You know what you signed up for? I have no idea.
Well, I don't remember.
I know we can go in and add new things, but I don't know if we're an agency or not.
Huh. Okay. So yeah, and I could look into that for you if you want. There could just be a way where we automatically bump you to that and just get you on the $4.99 a month plan. That way you don't have to click any more buttons. Otherwise, I think you go into billing and you just activate the agency add-on.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. It's under billing.
Oh, you see it. Perfect. Then you're not an agency yet.
Add agency add-on and get 2 brand projects and 1 user. We'll get the